Hello, my friends. Jacob is here. And I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving, gobble gobble to all of you. And thank you all for spending a little time with me today because we got some more to talk about. That's right. I got to tell you, this Mandela effect, man, it's out of control. And now we see some of these. We've discussed this in detail. I even have like a page, I guess, where I have all of my Mandela videos together if you want to check out the other videos, because I'm not going to do them all, but I'm going to do ones you haven't heard of today, new ones, and reversals. Yeah, that's right. There are some Mandela effects that we were kind of flipping out over. One of them being, because I've had cats, I've had plenty of cats, and Smokey is no longer with us, but we use tidy cats. And it kind of freaked me out when I found out that Tidy Cats was never Tidy Cats, it was Tidy Cat. So that was one of the big Mandela effects, and a lot of people were talking about it. The weird thing is, it's flipped back. It's Tidy Cats again. And I gotta tell you something, I know for a fact that it was Tidy Cat, because when I first came across this Mandela effect, I went to the store, and I was getting dog food for Daisy, my Dazers, my doggie, and I went to the aisle to find out, hey, is it Tidy Cats or is it Tidy Cat? And it was Tidy Cat. But it's back to being Tidy Cats again. That makes no sense. But there are other ones that towards the end of the video I'm going to share with you. Some new Mandela effects that are going to kind of blow your mind again. And reversals. Big reversals. But I'm not the only one that's kind of freaked out about this. Got a little, my mind is kind of going, what is happening here in this, simulation called life? Is it the D-Wave computer? I don't know. Is it CERN? I don't know. Is it a parallel reality? I don't know. But I can tell you now, I know it's not our memory, because I specifically went, just like these people in this video that I found.
My boyfriend and I were outside of the local pet store. We were going to go get some kitty litter or whatever. And I pointed to the window and I said, hey, we should get some Tidy Cats. And he was like, well, don't you mean cat? He's like, in this reality, it's Tidy Cat, not Tidy Cats. And he laughed it off because whatever. We bought the Tidy Cat litter, put it in the closet. It said Tidy Cat. There was no S on it. So please tell me. I have this two things of Tidy Cats. When I put these in my closet the other day, there was no S on either of these. And after I found that switch, it was never Tidy Cat. But I just saw the Tidy Cat, singular, that logo for a couple of weeks. What?
And they were freaked out about it, and I'm not the only one. You can find, lists of Mandela effects, and people everywhere are starting to kind of wake up to this. I think that's really cool, because it's like, the wool's been pulled over our eyes for so long, and now it's wake up time, and we're all kind of waking up. And alternative media like YouTube is really helping people to kind of expand their horizons, because we found out recently how fake the news really is. And I'm not talking about what they're considering to be fake news and how they're cracking down on that now. Everything is going to we're going to find a lot of censorship going on, and that's what this video is about as well, because Facebook, Google, and the government, now that the internet was handed over to the UN, right? It's, now they want stricter guidelines. And so now, people that talk, about things like Mandela effect or things like elections or things that in general could be considered to be newsworthy, well, now, if you're not what the government considers to be a real news organization, you're going to be censored, you're going to be punished, and it's not good. So we're going to talk about that today, because some shocking news just came out about that. But we're going to first start off with One of my favorite topics, I gotta tell you, besides Nibiru, this is one of my favorite topics, the Mandela effect. And wait till you see what's flip-flopping back and forth. So buckle up, people, and get ready, because we're about to enter the Mandela Internet Censorship Zone. Now, before I get into the Mandela effects, last September 15th, 2015, I stumbled upon an executive order, and it was kind of a little freaky. It was basically about using behavioral science. Okay, so the government decided that Obama signed this into this became an action executive order. And for the last year or so, there are these think tanks that have been basically implementing like behavioral science in every aspect of the government. And let me tell you a little bit about that. We're really talking about manipulation here and kind of mind control. And it's just odd that a lot of resources and a lot of money have now been focused onto really manipulating the public. I'm not joking. This is a real deal. Take a look. See, it's all about kind of steering the population to go where they want you to go. And right now, it seems like the direction they're trying to push us in is to hate each other and to blame other people and label other people and kind of get us to focus on hating other people and saying they're the reasons our life is hard. It's not really the oppressive government that's in control right now. It's the other people. It's the Muslims, or it's the Christians, or it's the Jews, or it's the blacks, or it's the whites, or the Hispanics, or the Chinese. It's the Russians. It's the Americans. It's all about getting us to kind of fall in line and follow the line of baloney that they're feeding us. WikiLeaks proved that the news was fake. We saw Donna Brazil handing the questions to Hillary Clinton for the debate. The fake news is the major news organizations that are owned by gabillionaires that are basically trying to keep the little man, the average Joe, the worker bee, you, me, and everybody else on the planet, except for the less than 1%, ignorant and in bondage. And it's time for us to break free of all that. So I guess that they're planning on cracking down. Facebook's kind of the first one. That is, they've actually come up with a list of ways that they're going to handle fake news. So, you won't be seeing certain, articles or certain videos that they deem to be not real. But really, this is about kind of keeping us all in the dark. And they're lying, and they're saying things like, the election was steered because of fake stories that got around. Oh, you mean like the fake stories of weapons of mass destruction that we heard about? Or the fake stories of, 9/11 and how that actually happened? Or, how many times have we been told what to believe and we found out that these are nothing more than hoaxes? A lot of hoaxes today, just so you know. You're seeing a lot of hate. You're seeing a lot of stuff. And it's kind of... It seems like what they're trying to do is they're trying to pit everyone against their brother and their sister. And they're doing a good job of it because everybody's kind of fallen for this nonsense. But we need to stop. And some people, they're jumping onto the truth wagon. They're saying, look, we don't want this nonsense anymore. We don't believe in it, because they start watching alternative news media, and they start, watching people that are paid for by major corporations. People like myself who just want to share, just want to do this. No ulterior motive, but just to get people to think and get people to question and get people to think outside of the box and to say, maybe we should love more instead of hate. Maybe we should come together more, and maybe we should stand up for our rights more peacefully. But, now we're going to be censored. Google is even going to punish people. So, big sites that maybe make some money here on YouTube, or websites that, get some kind of ads payment from, marketing organizations, or ads that are, you see these videos that have commercials popping up here and there, and they give us like a nickel or a penny for everybody who watches through the commercial. Well, now they're going to punish you. They're going to not allow you to so they're going to put the ads there anyway. But if they consider, what you're talking about to be fake news, well, then you're not going to. But there are big channels that people, they depend on this, and they've built an audience for many, many years. And now a lot are actually, they're talking about how, they've noticed a big decrease in viewership, and how, their subscribers are down and their views are down. They don't understand it because they have these hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and they're talking about these important things like the New World Order, and they're trying to get out truth, things that they're not telling you in mainstream media that's owned by the corporations. And what they're finding is, viewership's down, and many subscribers aren't getting noticed. They're not getting the notification anymore. So, for me, just so I want to get this in there, please do subscribe if you haven't already. It means a lot. And just remember, every Wednesday, I post a video. So if you don't get any kind of a notification, just come on by Jacob's channel and check me out. But what is the day that we're living in where we have to worry, that we can't, it's like our free speech is coming under attack, and I got to tell you something, I saw that the media was working very, very hard to, just to really get people riled up. Like CNN, when they used that reporter to interview a cameraman. Fake news, right? They aren't being punished. They aren't being censored. Or like when Cuomo came on and said, you can be arrested for reading those WikiLeaks. Only we can actually read the WikiLeaks, which is total baloney. Not true at all. But they lie to you. They lie to you and lie to you and lie to you. And it's the big show. And it's all about this social engineering. It's all about using behavioral science, which is an executive order. How can we better brainwash and manipulate, the population? And man, we fall for it, hook, line, and sinker. That's why people go to work on Thanksgiving. There are going to be a lot of people that are going to work on Thanksgiving. Walmart, Target. I mean, there are a lot of big corporations that just don't care about families anymore. They're supposed to pay holiday pay. That's a law. There used to be laws against forcing people to work on holidays, but no longer, right? So I'm asking each and every one of you, please do not shop on Thanksgiving. Please do not go out on Thanksgiving. Go on Black Friday. Sales will be there. Yeah, I don't care if they offer a major super duper deal on Thanksgiving. You know what? You wouldn't want to work. You'd want to be with your family. And a lot of these people, they're scared to say, I'm just not coming in, because they're scared they're going to lose their job. And that's wrong, people. That's That's wrong. They take enough from us already. So we have to come together and we got to make sure that people don't do this. But I've gone way off topic. Today was really about Mandela, right? So I'm going to get into that right now. I hope you don't go anywhere, okay? So let's start off with some beautiful Christmas fun, right? I got the thing up, we got the tree up, Dan and I and the kids, we all set everything up and we were listening to, wonderful holiday music. And imagine my surprise when I heard that song that everybody knows, the 12 Days of Christmas. I hear it sung and I want you to go along with me. Are you ready? On the first day of Christmas, my true love. What's the rest of it, right? Gave to me, right? A partridge in a pear tree. Well, guess what? Apparently, that's not the way the song goes. Apparently, it's always been my true love sent to me.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love sent to me a partridge in a pear tree.
Yeah, I guess the true love didn't feel that it would be better to kind of present the gift. But no, my true love sent to me, I guess, through Amazon. It doesn't make any sense. It's not the song I remembered. Do you remember it?
Second day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree.
Yeah, well, another thing that I get for, the holidays, Christmas. I celebrate Christmas. I love Christmas. And not that I have a problem with anybody else who has any other holiday. I think you all should enjoy the time with your family. It's a time to come together, And but I get underwear, right? I used to when I was a kid. That was the big thing. I didn't come from a very wealthy family, so I got I got Fruit of the Looms, and I remember because I wore them quite a bit. And if you remember the logo had this, it's a cornucopia. It's called a cornucopia. And basically like a basket, right? And all the fruit was in the basket, which is it's kind of like an allegory, right? That the underwear, it's the basket for your fruits, if you know what I mean. Well, guess what? Never been a cornucopia. There's never been a basket. Take a look. Yeah, imagine my surprise. So now the fruit doesn't have anything to hold it in. That would be something a little disturbing. Anyway, moving on. The next one, DEA, right? What do you think the DEA stands for? Drug Enforcement Agency? That's what I thought, right? DEA agency. Turns out it's never been the agency. It's always been the Drug Enforcement Administration. Huh? How many of you like to pop open a pixie stick and, drink all that sugar and just go crazy? Like I do every time I come on here before a video. I take a lot of sugar. I'm just kidding. It's Truvia or Stevia. We try to stay naturally. Do you remember pixie sticks? I like pixie sticks. Turns out pixie sticks, I just found this one out. I guess maybe other people have seen it, but it's spelled wrong. It's not spelled Pixie. It's spelled with a Y. When I was a kid, when I was a little youngster, Hanna-Barbera cartoons, it was all the rage, okay? And I remember that logo, that Hanna-Barbera logo that came up. But I remember Hanna-Barbera being spelled with 2 H's in Hanna. It turns out it's never been an H on the end of Hanna-Barbera. Take a look. Now look, if some of you remember these the way they are right now, look, some of these I could be remembering wrong. It's a good possibility, okay? So don't discount the effect on other ones just because maybe a couple, is a memory issue. And that's the whole trick with this, right? Because how can we trust our memories? And that's really what's so disturbing about this. But you're going to find out in just a couple of minutes when I get into the reversals that now we have proof that it's real and something is going on. And I got to tell you, I asked my kids last night if they like Cheez-Its, because they do. And I said, where are the Cheez-Its? And Shiloh, my baby girl, who's born on 9/11, a lot of people wondered why. Well, why is the clock on 9/11? And some people think that I'm in the Illuminati, which I'm not. Good grief, Charlie Brown. And she was born on September 11th, actually at the same time that the towers were hit, 2 years later. So that's, in the month of September, that's why I had her dates up as kind of an honor to her. Sometimes I like to put little secret messages in there for you. I think that we should all look, and life should be about exploration, and we should always look a little deeper, and we shouldn't just accept things that we're told, like things from the corporate fake media, not from alternative media that's going to be censored soon. But even me, if I tell you something, don't just take my word for it. Search it out. Seek out the matter. Okay? So, I asked him about the Cheez-Its. How do you spell it? And of course, my daughter, she remembers Cheez-Its, but it's never been Cheez-Its. It's always been Cheez-It. I have Crohn's disease and I have ankylosing spondylitis. Autoimmune diseases that stink, and suffered greatly with them, and still suffering today. But that's okay, because I'm an overcomer, and we all should be. We shouldn't let anything hold us down. I use it as a springboard, you know what I mean? I take it and I say, you know what? Just because I'm having a problem walking doesn't mean that I can't keep walking. So I keep putting one step in front of the other. Next thing you know, journey of 1,000 miles, okay? So don't let anything hold you back or hold you down. But I had a natural, what do they call, one of those doctors that are into natural medicine. They contacted me and they said, you should take turmeric and mix it with Bragg's apple cider vinegar and blah, blah, blah. And it's great for, inflammation. And since these are autoimmune diseases that deal with inflammation, like the terrible arthritis and the inflammation that you receive in your digestive tract, and it's kind of like your immune system attacking your body and your digestive tract, it's no fun. But supposedly this helps. And so when they were telling me about the Bragg's apple cider, I said, hey, that's funny, because that's a Mandela effect. And they said, what is that? I said, well, how do you spell Bragg's? And I said, how long have you been using it? Are you sure it's called Bragg's? And this lady was like 100% sure. And I said, well, it turns out it's always been Bragg. One of the cooler, newer Mandela effects that maybe you haven't heard of came to me when I was shopping for protein bars, because I like to work out and I like to have that protein after I work out because it's good to feed your muscles, right? And I stumbled upon the Cliff Bar and I looked at it and I said, wait a minute, the Cliff Bar, I think it used to have 2 F's, but it doesn't anymore. And then, of course, when I go home and I start Googling Cliff Bar, I come across somebody discovered that they're not called. You ever have issues where you had to write a paper on a book and you didn't really have time to read the book, or you did have time, but you're really lazy, so you went and you bought Cliff Notes, right? I used them. Don't tell my English teacher, but I did, and I'm sure some of you did too. But it turns out, apparently, they've always been called Cliff's Notes. Some people get a little spooked out because they watch The Family Guy and they say that Seth MacFarlane is now spelled Seth MacFarlane. And what's weird about that is you have a lot of fan pages that are dedicated to Seth MacFarlane, but they spell it wrong. So is it Seth MacFarlane or is it MacFarlane? I remember McFarlane. I don't know. What do you think? So now let me get into these reversals. Okay, so we did the Tidy Cats one, right? And that's my new thing now. I'm looking for reversals. So if you find any, please do email me or just send me a message on the YouTube here, because the reversals are really interesting to me. Things that are changed, and then they try to convince you. You try to, even people that shouldn't even be trying to convince you, they can't make sense of it. They're sort of like, you're wrong. It's just your memory. And now there's evidence that not only was it wrong the first time, right the first time and then wrong the second time, but now it's back to being right again. And there's evidence that they were trying to cover up the fact that it was changed. I don't even know. See, this is, it kind of messes with you. So you start to babble like I'm babbling right now. But Apollo 13, okay? Now, if you're not new to the Mandela effect, and if you are, check out my first video on it. It's the crazy Mandela effect, whatever. Go to my page, find it, and watch it and catch up. But if you're not new to it and you know the Mandela, you know that Apollo 13, and I'm talking about the movie, the famous line Tom Hanks said was, "Houston, we have a problem." Now, I know that that was the line, okay? But when I found out that it was changed, because I, of course, did a ton of research onto this, I looked it up and I showed Danielle and I said, "Honey, it's not we have a problem, we've had a problem. Houston, we've had a problem." Okay? So I looked this up. I saw this. I thought this was weird. I showed people this. I talked about this. I commented on boards about this. Imagine my surprise when it's no longer Houston, we've had a problem. It's back to Houston, we have a problem. And I'm not the only one that's kind of freaked out about this, or I want to say freaked out because I'm not scared. God doesn't give us a spirit of fear, but power and a sound mind. This is exciting because that means that we're seeing through the veil, that the lies and the illusion all around us is we're starting to get onto it, and we're starting to figure out that there is more, and that things may not be as they seem, and we may not just be able to trust what we see, hear, touch, taste, and smell. We have to trust something higher and go within and find out what that is. So we do have a problem, but now Apollo 13 is back to saying, "Houston, we have a problem," which is weird. But I'm not the only one a little weirded out by it. Check this out.
It has always been thought by me and by many others that the line is, "Houston, we have a problem." That's "we have a problem." Now, the other day on May the 28th, 2016, I was alerted to the fact that this has been changed to "Houston, we've had a problem." On the 29th of May 2016, when I returned home, I got out my own copy of the movie. This is it here. This has not changed. I've had this for years. And I watched it myself, and Tom Hanks said, "Houston, we've had," Houston, we've had a problem. That's "we've had a problem." This freaked me out a lot, because I always thought, and I always knew in my head, it was "Houston, we have a problem." Now, about 24 hours ago, a video appeared on YouTube saying that this has changed back. Now, last night I put this on. Again, this is the same DVD. I put this on, and in front of a witness, Tom Hanks now says again, "Houston, we have a problem." And I'm about to put this into my PlayStation and play it for everyone right now so we can all hear it. This is the same DVD. I'm going to keep this on camera.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we have a problem.
There we go.
That right there is proof that things have changed. Tidy Cats, for me, proved that things have changed because I went to the store, I saw the cat litter, and it was Tidy Cat. And I told my daughter, I said, "Shiloh, that's not right. It's always been Tidy Cats. Don't you remember?" She said, "I don't remember." I said, "Well, now it's Tidy Cat." Guess what? Back to being Tidy Cats again. Well, guess what? Houston, we have a problem. Again, things are flip-flopping, right? Flip-flopping. Something's going on. Something interesting. But the one that really spooked me out the most was C-3PO's leg, okay? Now, this is a big Mandela effect, and that's why I think a lot of people are going to be like, "What?" Put on the brakes when they see this. I did a video, my first video, I showed pictures of C-3PO with the one silver leg. And I said, guess what? It's never been all gold. He's always had one silver leg, from the knee down. I showed pictures of it. And I showed a picture of, the guy who played the character with with his outfit spread out all around him. It's a famous picture. And in that picture, there was one silver leg attached with a silver foot. Okay? I looked very, very closely, and I've studied these pictures. It was one silver leg with one silver foot, all silver from the knee down. Well, guess what? That's changed now too. Now, C-3PO has 2 golden feet. Even that picture, it's just now, it's like the shin now. It's not connected to the foot anymore. Take a look. Now that's kooky, man. Because a lot of you have looked at those C-3PO pictures and you remember that silver leg. Well, now it has a golden foot. What's going on, right? I don't know. Listen, people, the day that we're in right now is there's a lot of wild stuff going on. You know, politics is out of control. The world is out of control. You know, we've had 2 terrible, huge earthquakes that just struck. Another one just recently. And the climate change, the planet is, you know, it's hotter than ever. And people are suffering. And, you know, we're having they're massive fish die-offs and animal die-offs. And obviously tons and tons of war and a lot of rhetoric between these world leaders. And a lot of people are worried. You know, we have the riots on the streets. And now the big thing is fake news, fake news, fake news. And we have to stop the fake news. And we're going to start punishing the fake news. Trump just met with the heads of, you know, news organizations and networks. And he basically said it's time to be fair, you know. And I think fair is a good thing. But I just don't want that to be a step away from, you know, taking away our right to free speech. I should be able to come on here and say whatever I want. I don't, and I will not willfully mislead anyone. I could get the facts wrong sometimes. I'm human, you know, but my heart is in the right place, and I hope that yours is too. But if they start to punish people like me and people like you for just having an opinion and for maybe disagreeing with the direction and talking about things that most people don't really want you to talk about. Because look, talking about this Mandela effect, you can sound like you're off to the loony bin, because it's very easy for people to start to sound a little nutty when they talk about these things, simply because we don't understand how it's being done, but it is being done. And that doesn't make us kooky. That makes us observant. And that makes us truth seekers. And that makes us people who are not easily fooled. And I know that each and every one of you wants to know more. And I know that you don't want to be fooled and you don't want to be lied to, and neither do I. But I want us all to come together. And I want us all to seek more and find more and look for more and look for ways to make this world a better place and not live in fear, because fear is the enemy. Fear is exactly what the real fake news, the people, the corporations that are trying to keep us in our place, keeping you scared, you know, got to go to work on Thanksgiving or you're going to lose your job. Fear, control. Don't let it bother you. Because God has never given us the spirit of fear. The spirit of fear is not real. Fear is not real. It's behavior modification, right? It's just like that executive order. It's manipulation. And fear will make you do horrible things. Fear will make you say, yeah, I agree. People should, they should all be registered, you know, and because they're different than me and they have a different religion. Every single one of them should be written in a book. It's a slippery slope. Because once you start registering one religion, guess what? You're going to be on that list too. And if you don't think that the powers that be want to get rid of people's faith, they want to make sure that they tell you what to believe too. Well, you're out of your gourd. Change, great change, comes out of tribulation. And that's what's going on right now in the world. Like I said before, you know, birth pangs, baby. We're about to give birth to something, which, by the way, another Mandela effect. How long is a pregnancy? Not 9 months anymore. Turns out it's always been 10 months. Now, I could have just been wrong and not known that, but I always thought it was 9 months. My point is, people, things are a little upside down right now, but that's not a reason to be scared. That's a reason to rejoice and look and seek more. I hope you all have the happiest Thanksgiving ever. I hope you do subscribe, and please do remember that I love each and every one of you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.